Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. It is a match day preview for Manchester United Football Club. We have a match going on tomorrow. Everton, final day of the US tour. After that, this is back to Old Trafford, I believe, next week against Fiorentina. But yes, it is match day preview. I'm just going to do my predictions, what I'd like to see. My squad predictions as well. But before we proceed, as always, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and follow, whether you're following on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Just hit like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment as well. Do appreciate the feedback. Also, thank you to all those who just recently subscribed to the podcast as well. I do greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much to all those that have decided to follow the podcast. It means a great deal to me, support. But yes, and then don't forget to follow on Twitter or X, TikTok, as well as Instagram as well. I know my social media presence hasn't been the best, has been a little slacking, but I will continue to try and be consistent. And I know sometimes consistency is not my favorite, or it's not the most usual word to use with me, linkage word. I think you understand. Consistency and I are not best friends, to say the least. But yes, we're finishing off the final match of the U.S. tour, which is going on tomorrow in Atlanta. And yes, it's been so far they've won 2, going to the final one. If they get that, they win the summer series. I don't know if they get more money or a trophy, but it does help a little bit, I guess. Once again, it is a preseason match, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, every preview I've always mentioned, I'm not going in a full 100%. I always want to see what this club, what this squad is going to do, what's Ruben Amorim's idea of the squad going into this final match. We are 2 weeks away officially tomorrow of our first actual Premier League. The Premier League is back in 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. It's flown by the last couple months. It feels like, what is it, yesterday that we were in May and Man United beat Aston Villa in that final match. The exciting offseason that we had with Bruno and the wonderful saga of our transfer window, the ups, the downs, some more downs than ups. But here we are, almost done preseason. Again, this is our second last match of preseason. Again, we're playing over Fiorentina next Saturday morning, Canada time. Obviously, depending on where you are, especially the UK, different time zone. But 12:45 should be the correct time, I believe, for that match. But to discuss today is just a preview of the episode. So we're just going to chat about that, just catching up on some notes. Want to see some injuries. I know Xerxes Maz will not be playing in the match tomorrow, which does suck because you hope to see them. Hopefully we have them for Fiorentina next week. They are battling little knocks, so hopefully we can have them back ready to go. Again, we have Cheeto and we have Rasmus, so which is good. But again, having more people there, pieces there to help, so that's key to have. Andre Onana is slowly making his way back too. That's 3 players that won't be in. Onana basically we don't even know if he's going to be back for that opening day. But this is the final one. This is where we may see more of a starting squad, not so much, but a potential starting 11 going into this game. Obviously, the fans there want to see everyone, and Buemo is expected to play. Question is, does he start? Because he hasn't started the last 2. He just joined right before the West Ham match that week, so he wasn't game time fit, but tomorrow looks like he's ready to go. Will he start? I don't know. I can you can suspect, you can predict when you're doing your lineup, you can suspect that, but it's kind of hard to say how it's going to be. I'm sure Ruben's not going to give out too much. As you know, this week, banning cameras, including Manchester United film crews, because again, tacticians, building the squad, getting everything right where they need to be, getting the correct field position, like correct players on the field. That's what he's trying to protect. So I completely understand what he's doing. But for me this week, just like others, I want to see, I want to see the young guys again. Kone, I want to see Diego Leon, who played phenomenal last game. Dorgu, who's been fantastic. I want to see what combinations of attack is Ruben going to aim with. I think tomorrow you're going to look at something similar to West Ham. It just, in my opinion, couple tweaks here or there. Will Mbeumo be starting? I don't think so, because this is his first match. You want to build that there. I think Fiorentina, you'll see him get a start. But I kind of think it's going to be a little bit different tomorrow for that. So we'll see. It may be similar to what we saw there, but I think midweek you're trying to get certain players certain rests, so you want to get that going. But what I want to see tomorrow, again, possession. I want to see proper hold up, great transition, movement of the ball. We saw that great again with Bournemouth, but I want to see more consistency. Listen, we scored first. We've scored first in every game so far, except for Leeds, where it was a 0-0 draw. But we want to see some fight. We want to see some consistency. And again, it's a preseason game. I'm not here to see them, I want to see them win, but I want to see progression, consistency. And if we lose, and I saw great performance, great consistency, great movement, I will be happy with that, because there are things that were going right. Just sometimes you can do everything right, still lose. It just happens. But yes, I want to see who's going to be up there with Rasmus. Rasmus, I believe, is going to be starting. He should be starting against Fiorentina as well, if Xerxes or Cheeto are not available. Cheeto should be, but I think Cheeto right now isn't ready yet to be that starter. For all we know, he could be starting tomorrow. But what I'm going to see is the attack, what combination he's going to do. Højlund, I know he's going to be there. Højlund, can he consistent? He's been fine for 2 games in a row. He wasn't bad in the second half against Leeds when he came on. I know, and I had an episode last night where I talked about confidence into Højlund. Again, it's not just Højlund. There were other factors in regards to how Højlund was. So again, we're slowly going to get a better Højlund. I hope, again, he doesn't go. I hope he stays. I hope he's still playing for United come 2 weeks. I hope he's not getting sold. I hope he's there September, October for the end of next season. I hope he's there because, again, he wants to fight. He wants to play. He wants to show what he's capable of. And you know what? That is fantastic for the locker room, ladies and gentlemen. That is great to have going into the season. But yes, Højlund at the striker, we'll see that there. We'll probably see that against Arsenal. What we may see is a combination of the 10s. What I believe will happen is you'll see something to the start of West Ham. That's where you see something similar. Mbeumo, to me, will not start. I know people want to see him quickly. Again, this is his first match. You want to ease him in. Again, we're focused on preseason. Yes, great game shape, tactical, focus, trying to get everything organized, fitness. That's great. That's the priority here. The main priority is the first 3 weeks of the Premier League, and Arsenal that first week. And Arsenal will be hyped up. I can't wait to do that preview show because of a certain player that used to play for our manager back at Sporting. So we're looking forward to that. But back again, what I think it's going to be Højlund, Cunha, and Bruno to start the match as your 10s. Why? I think it's just because you don't want to give too much away. You don't want to see what's going to happen with Embuemo. Again, I could completely be wrong. But just because, again, we're getting close for how reserve Ruben is and trying to keep everything tight-lipped as possible. It's going to be Cunha and Bruno at the start as your 10s. On the wing, you're going to go with Dorgu. On the right, you're going to see Delo. Not Delo. Ahmad Diallo. My apologies. Those are going to be your wing backs. The center, the two mids, C. Ugarte and C. Not Casemiro, C. Kobe Mainu. That's who you're going to see. Back three, you're probably going to see Lenny Yoro, who's been great. You're going to see probably De Ligt, and then you may see, depending on how he feels, you might see a Luke Shaw starting. You may see Aiden Heaven start. Aiden Heaven didn't start last game. It was Luke Shaw. Heaven did come in later. But you may see Heaven get the start tomorrow, just going into that. And then I think Bayender will be back starting for the game. That's how I'm seeing it for the first little bit. Remember, they will do a full change in the second half. But again, this is the closest that you're going to see start. Again, remember, Xerxes not there. Mason Mount won't be starting. Mazraoui is still dealing with a knock. He should be back. And we'll see. We may potentially see Onana in Arsenal in 2 weeks, but we don't know anything yet. Obviously, you can see last night's episode. Again, I talked about potential new goalkeeper. Looking at the PSG goalkeeper United are at the moment. But going back, I think that's what's going to be the start. I think it's going to be very similar to what they did against West Ham. I think that's going to be the starters. That's what I'm going to believe. You never know. You may change it up. You may have Bruno to go where Kobe is. You may have Mason Mount start with Cunha. You may have Ahmad start and Delo to the right. But I think that's what's going to be the first 11. The back 11, you're going to see Cheeto Obi obviously up top. Mason Mount and Embuemo probably starting in the second half. In the middle, you're probably going to see Collier and Casemiro in. Your wingbacks, you're going to see Diego Leon, who played phenomenal, who has been great this preseason. I'm looking forward to him, hopefully him breaking into the first team. Delo on the right side. Your back three is probably going to be, if Heaven's not going to start, it's probably going to be Luke Shaw. You're going to see Shaw, Maguire, Fredrickson in the back. And then Bayender's still going to be there, but I think that's going to be the second crew going on. I would like to see Kone get some minutes. If it's not Collier, if it's not Casemiro, maybe Casemiro just gets that extra rest. You bring in Kone, you have Collier and Kone in the middle, but you kind of want to have veteran players there. That's the thing. The one thing I noticed on Wednesday, and I should have mentioned it, having Ugarte, Kobe, and De Ligt there in the back three did make a difference. The veteran presence was there to help with those young guys, with a Collier, with a Williams, with a Cheeto Obi, with a Fredrickson. Having those guys there was important. Diego Leon especially. That's huge because you have those veteran guys to help motivate. And I think it's going to be the same in the second half, depending on what the score is. But I think you're going to see that there. Now, from what I'm saying, could be completely off. What could happen is, and this is probably everyone's dream scenario, I'm still hoping for a Diego Leon and Dorgu. Like, that would be great. And maybe I'll give a dream scenario of what I think the starting should be potentially. But what everyone I know wants is Højlund, obviously, well, for the way the fans have been since the end of last season, even midway through with Højlund, a new striker, they want someone there. They want Sesko. They've had their list of strikers. And I'm guilty of sometimes mentioning a potential new striker, but I've also mentioned multiple times here and also well on X that Højlund needs time and hopefully to get himself a full preseason as well, because again, I mentioned he hasn't really had a proper preseason when joining this club. So rewind, go back. Everyone's probably like, okay, Højlund's the automatic starter. Then you're going to look at both Cunha and Embuemo starting, Bruno, Ugarte in the middle. Your wing backs are definitely going to be Dorgu and Ahmad. And then your back three would be if healthy, Maz, Yoro, and Delit. Or Aiden Heaven to replace as the starter, and then Byender to start. That's what I think everyone wants. But I think the way things have been the last couple of weeks with rotation and getting people time and fitness, you're not going to see that type of formation. To me, I would love to see Dorgu and Diego Leon together on the field, one left, one right. That would be great to see, especially momentum. That would be great on the right side, one of them there. I would love to see that. I would love to see Cunha and Buemo there, Bruno and Ugarte in the middle, and then I've always mentioned my back three: Maz, Yoro, and Delit as your back three, which I think is very well. But that's what I would like to see if that was tomorrow, especially those two wingbacks, the way they have played. Yes, they're both on the left side, but it is good to see those types of players. But from what I see from that opening squad that I mentioned, consistency, movement of the ball, hold-up play, and also, I've always mentioned it, the transition from back to middle to the attack, getting more shot opportunities. And again, if Mbuemo is starting, let's say we have that dream pairing of Mbuemo and Cunha and Højlund. When the ball is moving with those two, and then you have Højlund up trying to go behind. And I've mentioned this before, compared to last season, compared to now, the struggles of just getting Højlund the ball, the struggles of him with the ball. It's not just Højlund that was bad last season, ladies and gentlemen. There was bad all around. We saw it was. It just wasn't Højlund. Rashford was issues trying to get him the ball. Garnacho was issues trying to get the ball. Bruno sometimes had issues trying to get him the ball. Ahmad, Delo, there was plenty of issues, plenty of blame to go around for why our attacks sucked. Let's not just be like, oh, we need a new striker. We needed new everything. And you saw that there. You saw what Mount and Dorgu were able to do on the left side. That's what we saw. That's what we wanted to see with Garnacho and Dorgu last year. But we never saw that. We did not see the connection. We did not see the proper passing. We did not see the extra moves. We saw solo show, I got this, let me score this goal. That's what we saw most of the time. And it pissed off everyone. So let's not just say, well, it's Højlund. Let's just say everyone blew it. It was a key factor. Bruno wasn't perfect. As much as he had the season that he did, he was not perfect. Ahmad wasn't perfect. Garnacho, Rashford, Højlund. The whole damn roster was not perfect last season. But this season, obviously, things have changed. We have now those attackers. So again, if it's Mbuemo, Højlund, and Cunha tomorrow, this is what I would like to see from the three of them if it magically was. Those two talking to Højlund, telling him, listen, when we're in this spot, when we're transitioning up, we're in holding up play, movement, this is where we want you to be. This is the timing that we want for you to when I go for the move the ball, for the pass. This is what I want. I expect to have that communication with the wingbacks. I have this, like both of them. I expect Mbuemo and Ahmad to have that type of connection on the right, and then there. And then when you're moving through the middle, Ugarte has played well. And I think hopefully he's the day one starter. Nothing against Casemiro. I just think legs reasons, the type of midfielder that we need, Ugarte is the upgrade. But again, tomorrow, like I mentioned, it's Kobe and Ugarte probably in the middle tomorrow. But like I said, the dream scenarios, everything, what you have to do is you got to hope that with the movement, any Euro as well as Maz can both move the ball, moving the ball back from the back to that middle, to whether it's to a wing back or to Bruno. The transition up front has to be there. And it has to be consistent with the passing. You'll risk nothing. Tomorrow I like to see less risky pass. I'd like to see more calm, corrective passing. But we know that sometimes you're going to get that. And then other times it's like, you know what? The plan that we came up with, let's just throw it out the window. Let's go with long balls and prayers. It's the truth. But I think if we were to get, again, like I mentioned, that I think with Mbuemo and Cunha, they're going to work with the striker and be like, okay, this is where you need to be. When we've done it in this movement here in the box, this is where I told so-and-so to go. when I have the ball, go here, read what the defenders are going to do when they're pressing or when they're pairing up with you, but and all that. And I'm sure when they're talking about the transition, when they're moving into the attack, I'm sure they're going to look at Højlund and be like, okay, when you get the ball, we're going to aim to try and be here. When you don't see us, try to go to the wing backs or go back to see where Bruno is and have him start pacing up and setting up the attack. That's what you're hoping to see. And that's what I want to see. Like, we can get Sesko and not work out and not have that attack. But I think with the mentality of Højlund and him learning from Mbeumo and Cunha on where to be and how to accept the passes and how they're going to work on the attack, and then having them coordinate with Dorgu and Ahmad, this is the improvement that we want. And if we can start scoring goals and get the attack and movement going, that's key for us. And that's what I would like to see tomorrow. And I think tomorrow with Bruno Cunha starting, it has to be the same thing. They have to be coordinating and have to be doing the attack. They have to be like, okay, here we are. This is where we're going to go. Boom, boom, and boom. Like, this is where the places are going to be. So, yeah, that's what I would like. I would like to see the attack communicate as well and throughout the season doing that. Like, I shouldn't say throughout the season, but tomorrow. And I'm sure I just confused the hell out of everyone who's just listening when I'm talking about this attack. But just to reiterate, if it's Mbeumo, Cunha working with Højlund, those two have to be telling Højlund to go tomorrow. Højlund to where they need to go with the passes, transition, everything. If it's Bruno and Cunha tomorrow, which is more likely than what I just stated, it has to be the same thing. And Bruno has to be a little bit smarter with the passes when moving the ball on the attack. But in the end, I would like to see consistency, better ball movement, more, not giving more opportunities for the striker, but more opportunities to get shots off in that box at the keeper and get it, try to get in the back of the net, or just try to get the attack going. Because that's the one thing too. And no reckless, oh, we're outside the 18-yard box. We got this. I can boot it. No, we can't take reckless shots. It's got to be coordination and the attack and movement there. So I think that's what the 10s have to do, the wing backs. They have to communicate with the striker and the striker with them as well. Be like, hey, I'm going here. This is where I need to be. This is where I like the ball to be. Now, when you're moving the ball, you tell me where I should be, and so on and so forth. So I feel like I'm just repeating the same thing again and again and again, and I do apologize. But that's how it should work out on the attack, I hope, for this season, as well as tomorrow for Everton, whoever the 10s may be. It could be anyone. For all we know, we see Kobe at the 10 tomorrow. But I don't think that's happening. I think Kobe should be starting with Ugarte, and again, Bruno will be up front with Cunha. So I'm going to leave it there for that. I think I went into enough. Actually, I should a little bit with it. Like, again, Dorgu has been phenomenal to keep it up. The movement, the speed, the tracking back has been good from what I've seen from Dorgu, from what I've seen with Ahmad. Those who have to play wing back, you have to be consistently like that. No offense to Shaw, but I don't think he should be started. Like, Shaw could potentially start tomorrow. He could be. The one thing is just getting his fitness back and moving the ball, and also being able to track back and make sure that he's not giving it away, and make sure awareness. One thing with Aiden Heaven too, awareness, especially when the opposing team is on the attack towards them, to keep an eye out for that too. But the wingbacks also have to come back and support as well. So defensively, more awareness. The middle, I know I jumped the gun, almost ending the episode not talking about our wingbacks, was just mostly focusing on the attack. But the middle, they can't sacrifice as much. Like, they also have to be wary of transition. Bruno in the pivot, especially if he's going to be there. But I think with Kobe and Ugarte, the mid will be stronger, especially with Mainu being able to play deep, Ugarte able to be more physical with space, and having those wingbacks come back do make a big difference. You know, yes, it's 5-on-5, but 7-on-5 does make things a little bit better when you get those wingbacks to track back too. But yeah, in the end, that's how I'm liking the episode. Again, just to recap, my potential 10 for tomorrow, what I think it's going to be similar to West Ham, I think. Hoyland, Cunha, Bruno, Kobe, Ugarte in the middle, Ahmad, Dorgu as the wingbacks, and then Yoro, Delit, and probably Luke Shaw as your back three. And then I mentioned what the second team may potentially be. You'll definitely see Cheeto. You'll probably see Mountain and Boima play together. Collier and hopefully Kone maybe, but probably going to be Casemiro. Diego Leon, Delo out on your wing backs, and then Heaven, Frederick, or whoever starts on that left side, either it's Heaven or Shaw, they'll be the left wing back. Harry Maguire coming in, and then probably Fredrickson as well, because Martinez isn't there, and Euro isn't back yet. So, due to that knock. So that's what I think the lineups are going to be, whether it's the first half or the second half. Those are going to be potentially the attacks that we're going to see tomorrow. I know it's not my usual late night Saturdays, but I thought I'd get the episode out, especially with tomorrow. I'll be back again tomorrow after the match, recapping from what I saw, what I liked. Again, it's a big game tomorrow. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know I mentioned here for me, it's a long weekend. So for those that are listening, hope you're enjoying your long weekend. For those that are not having a long weekend, still enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the match tomorrow. To all the Man United fans that are down in Atlanta, hope you guys enjoy the match tomorrow as well. It's the final game of the U.S. tour. After that, it's back to the U.K. But yes, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the match tomorrow as well. I'll be back tomorrow night after just to do a recap of United versus Everton as well. And yeah, it will just be more of a focus on Everton tomorrow of the recap show. Have yourself a good weekend again. Enjoy the rest of your night. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.